Morning, everyone. As always, it's really good to be sharing a thought with you today. It says in the Old Testament, in the book of Ecclesiastes, that there is a time for everything, that there is a season for every activity under the sun. It says there's a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to uproot, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to tear down and a time to build, a time to weep and a time to laugh. Now, I've always found it really helpful to remember that life does move in seasons, that there really are different times for different things. And when we talk about seasons in our lives, we don't just mean the weather patterns, which we're especially aware of as the days get shorter and colder and the nights feel longer. But there are seasons in our lives in other ways as well. Maybe it's a busy season at work or an exam season at school, and maybe there's a holiday season, a bit of time off, some leave. There are times in our lives when the path is smooth and things go well and everything comes together quite easily. But there are also seasons when things are difficult and nothing really seems to work out. The thing about seasons is that they change, and that just as the rhythm of each day includes a sunrise and a sunset, a noon and a midnight, so our lives move through both joys and challenges. What does not change is God, who remains faithful and remains good through all of the different seasons of our lives. And God continues to hold all things in God's hands. In fact, it is very often in the changing seasons that we can be most aware of God's faithful presence in our lives. So won't you take a moment today to simply consider what season you might be in? Maybe it is springtime in your world, maybe a season of new things, new opportunities, new experiences. And while that might sound exciting, it also sounds like change. And we know that change is never easy. But maybe it's winter for you. Perhaps you are grieving a loss, or things just feel dry at the moment. The thing about winter is that we need it. If there is to be a spring and a summer, then there needs to be a season of winter where the ground is allowed to rest. So as you consider which season you might be in, the invitation is to notice what God is doing in this season. For God is always at work in the world and in us. So may you discover the grace today to notice God with you in this moment, in whichever of life's seasons you find yourself in today. Amen.